Or whatever you want to call it, the talk with my son. We had that like when he was like 7, 6. Like, hey, you know, unfortunately, this is the world. The talk, I mean, when it comes to police brutality, when it comes to sex.
What talk are you talking about?
That talk, I was talking about police brutality, but when it comes to sex, okay. I prime my kids from when they're young.
Okay, so first of all, let's introduce our special guest today, because she's really who's going to help us guide
and sort all this stuff out. Yes. So just really quickly, I wanted to say, you know, our guest is licensed professional counselor Aydrell Collins. Aydrell has her own practice in Dallas. It's called Melanin Sex Therapy. So definitely look her up, Melanin Sex Therapy, and check her out, because she is absolutely that fire truth.
Melanin Sex Therapy.
Yes.
Okay. So back to having sex conversations with our children. When do you suggest is a good age to have with internet and YouTube
and porn,
TikTok and
porn?
Porn. Yeah, I always say it early and often. So the sex talk, it's not just like one talk.
Yes.
It's like a talk throughout the whole entire life. So the talk starts with naming correct body parts. So like calling a penis, a vagina, good touch, bad touch. That's all part of sex, the sex talk, and like healthy relationships and boundaries and things like that. So like to answer your question, early, often, like whatever stage they are in their life, have that talk with them. So if they're starting to date, then
it's
have
too late.
Talk.
Well, no,
but like
no,
your
seven is not dating.
No,
so
but like it's
with my kids early and often. So I scar my children. I'm like, hey. So when my kids were little, I say, if a stranger comes up to you and tries to touch you inappropriately, what would you do?
But like, it's not just like a stranger, because like most like sexual molestation
happens within the family.
Yeah.
So, and I even say that like if someone, let's not say stranger, if someone touches you inappropriately, because we all know people who were molested, you know, and I start with naming body parts appropriately. So I never kitty talk with my kids. Mm-hmm. These are breasts, that's a vagina, you have a penis, those are testicles, but we call them balls. Mm-hmm. Make sure you wash them sweaty, nasty balls.
Exactly, because they stink.
You know, and then with my daughter's vagina, make sure you open it up. Like, we start with just hygiene. Mm-hmm. To me, that's like the entryway. Right. And then with my kids too, I say like, hey, you know what if someone comes up to you and touches you like this?
Your uncle.
Yeah, it could be someone you know, someone you don't know. Like, what would you do? And then my daughter would be like, oh, I'd come tell you, because I know that is not normal for him to touch me this way. Because we've talked about it since I have my kids don't really go a lot of places. I have this protection instinct.
Are you a helicopter?
I am absolute helicopter. Absolutely. Absolutely. But at the same time.
Helicopter parent, Google it.
Yes, but I absolutely also know that they need freedom and they need the ability to go out in the world and be able to function. And they can't do that if I'm always over them. I can't be the overlord.
Okay, so you talk about having the technical conversation and the bad conversation, but do you have the good conversation about sex?
I do with my kids.
Not about what not to look for, but what
to look for and what's healthy.
And, like healthy sex.
Oh man, so you know what? And we're gonna segue. So when I found out my son was watching porn, I was like, I just
how'd you find out?
On his 12th birthday, God bless him in my heart. He said, "Go bust in the boy room right quick." Oh my God, it was the worst night of my life.
And it was his 12th birthday?
It was his
Happy birthday!
Let me get it in right quick.
Yes!
So I hope you didn't. Did you shame him?
So the Lord, did I shame him?
Well, tell us what exactly happened. What happened? You busted in the room and what?
And then I saw the phone camera light on his face. And he goes, oh God.
Was his other hand, was he jerking off?
He was under the covers, and most likely he was.
Right.
And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And then his dad came and got me.
Yes.
And was like,
calm down. It's what boys do.
How did you know? Like, literally,
I have a boy.
He was on my head. He was like, This is normal.
Okay, so if he would have caught your daughter watching porn, would he be like, that's what girls do? Because women watch
It's
porn
a double standard.
and like women masturbate. So I think like normalizing that conversation with your daughter, like it's okay as a female, as a person with a vulva, like to masturbate, to watch porn, because like that's how you discover your body and find your pleasure. So like,
wait a minute.
yes.
What age do you say that's okay for a child to watch porn?
So the average age that kids are starting to watch porn is like 10 years old. But like we give them computers in their pockets. So like what the fuck? Can I cuss?
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
But wait a minute. I feel like,
what
okay, I know my son watch porn, right?
Yeah.
I know it. I've seen it on his phone,
Yeah.
whatever. But
like, are you shaming him?
I don't shame him.
Okay.
I don't shame him at
I'm so
all.
glad you said that.
But I'm like, what's your search engine though? You know what I'm saying?
What are you looking for?
Because you're talking about a child watching man and woman sex and just learning. But they might hit some horse dick,
Go down
big
the rabbit hole.
rabbit hole. Now they scarred. Like now regular dick and pussy will never ever be the same. Now it's horse dick and pig pussy. Like
in those instances, because
how
like
do you control
I was
that?
in the same situation.
I
So like
literally-
I've had these porn talks with my son since he was like 7, 8. When he first got his phone, we were having the porn talks because like
What does a porn talk
Jesus.
sound like?
just like porn is not a realistic depiction of sex.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
porn
Okay.
is kind of like it's like I heard it depicted like as like an action movie, like how they walk down the street and like shit's blowing up. That's not like a realistic depiction of like walking down the street. Porn is the same way. So it's not a realistic depiction
Yes.
of men's bodies, women's pleasure. Sometimes porn is made by like very like angry men who just want to like abuse women and like it's not for pleasure. So this shit's not real.
Right.
So it's not appropriate for you at like 10, 11, 12 to be watching that because your brain is still developing and like that is not real life. But at the same time, I don't want to shame you for watching porn.
Mm-hmm.
And so like for me, like I check my son's search engine like I should not, and he's probably gonna kill me. But
yeah, you should.
and I pay
We're
that-
parents. That's just
yeah,
what we do.
and so like when we had that sex talk, like he's been like open and honest. Like I haven't like caught any porn in his search engine. Like his friends come to me and like ask me about stuff, and
awesome.
so I think like the more open and honest you can be, and like your son is 15, so like 16, so like that's like pretty normal, pretty average. Like he's starting to explore.
Yeah, I literally
himself
have to
and-
knock on his door before
Yeah.
I enter now.
Yeah.
I used to could just walk in.
Yeah.
Now I knock first.
Yeah.
Just to give him space to
Well,
to
and I think like that's important
get
too
whatever
because
you
like
gotta get done.
I know like our parents didn't respect boundaries, but like that teaches kids how to like model boundaries and model like their privacy is important.
Oh my
and
God, my son
their
always tells me that.
autonomy is important because like that's how you model bodily autonomy. Like you can't say like your body is yours and like no one is allowed to like touch your body and like violate you, but like you're doing the same thing by not like respecting their privacy and respecting
I
their
respect your privacy,
autonomy.
but you don't pay no bills here.
I mean, but like that's not going to stop them from.
No, and it's not going to stop them. So, like, when I had to talk to my son, I just said, I need you to know porn is not real.
Yeah.
That's not the way women want to be treated.
Exactly.
Like, if you're going to be with a woman, she don't want to be gangbang 54.
No.
You know what I mean? She wants to be touched, like you care about her, like
So
you like
had
her.
that conversation with your son?
Absolutely. Not only my son, my nephew,
Have it with
all
your
the
daughter.
boys in my family.
What
My
about your daughter?
I'm slowly coming into that because she's 7, right? So I just ask her, about boobs and vagina and like, hey, make sure you clean that properly and make sure that you stay fresh.
I don't have a girl.
Well, and I think like it's pleasure too because I
I'm
think
not ready
like
for
that
that.
is like the piece that like as women
What
when we are
vagina is
talking.
pleasure?
Yeah, like this is pleasure. Like your period is nothing gross and it's nothing to be ashamed of.
So let's
like
get in the shower
contract-
and
And you should try fucking on it.
Yes,
'Cause
period sex is good sex.
I was like, please talk to me on my period. Like, oh my God,
That
I'm
would
so
help
horny.
me be a lot less stressed.
Yeah,
and
just
it
put
helps.
a towel
And
down
it'll help them
rub
cramps,
them
too.
off. Like, put a towel
It'll help
down,
them cramps if you
and
get cramps.
It'll catch
Yeah.
all the blood.
Yes.
Now,
I'm an advocate for having sex in the shower in your period.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of shower sex because I've hurt myself a couple of times.
I'm sorry.
But, I mean, if it works, it works. But yeah, like teaching your daughter that, you know, her body is nothing to be ashamed of,
absolutely
because like
not.
I feel like as women, like we get so many messages that like periods are dirty and like they should be
More
something
bloody.
This is
to
the
like
sex
behead away
Absolutely.
from. But pleasure, and teaching her to be pleasure focused, and just like you're teaching your son that women don't want to be like treated that way, don't want to be fucked that way. Your daughter too, if that's what brings you pleasure, if that's not what brings you pleasure, like having like to speak up, like this is what I like, this is what I don't like.
And what I think is really important is when I first talked to her, she told me one thing: stop chasing the orgasm, right? Or stop chasing
Wait a minute,
pleasure.
I thought you just said when you was talking to her. And
I thought you were talking to your daughter.
Like we both thought you was talking to her. And I was like, oh, your daughter told you to stop chasing an orgasm? Okay, cool.
She's really profound.
Your
That's
daughter is
7.
very
No, it
enlightened.
was a
so her as in Aydrell.
Aydrell, the profound Aydrell,
Okay.
the licensed professional
Her was
counselor
in our
and sex
head. Like,
therapist.
oh, so that's what you
You gotta
and your
tell
daughter
us you're
doing.
switching topics.
Okay, so
Sorry.
we're
No,
talking
but we were talking
to
about pleasure.
licensed sex therapist. And your business was called
Melanin Sex Therapy.
Melanin Sex
And
Therapy.
it's in Dallas, yeah.
What made you become a sex therapist, and where do you go to get that license?
So
I think I'm one already, but I just want to know where to go.
Well, you need your license, but you're already a sex
I need my
therapist.
Yeah. So you need a master's in mental health counseling, and
Okay.
you got to get licensed through the state of Texas to become a licensed professional counselor or a licensed marriage
When
and
does the
family.
sex come involved?
So
though?
the sex is what you choose. So I chose to become a sex therapist. So it's a certification through the American Academy of Sex Educators, Counselors, and Therapists.
Okay.
And so it's about like a 2-3 year program where you are just talking about sex, like psychosexual education. So that's basically teaching sex ed, how to talk with clients when they come in with sexual issues. And what made me become a sex therapist, like a multitude of things. I saw the need for it. I used to work as a counselor in an abortion clinic, and I used to be a sex ed teacher. And I saw just like how uncomfortable people were.
So deep.
Bodies.
Yeah. And the trauma that led to people being uncomfortable with their bodies, and especially people who have experienced sexual assault. Like, how can you go and have like great sex after you've been like
And
sexually
enjoy pleasure.
assaulted? Yeah. And just like the gap of pleasure, and especially between like women and men, and how women aren't socialized to like think about sex and be sexual, and our
love
bodies are
this.
policed, and we are not allowed to follow our pleasure, and sex is supposed to be for the men. And you know, that is kind of like where
And it's
my
funny
niche
that you
is.
say that, because I always say that women center our sexuality around men. We never center our sexuality around ourselves. And pleasure could be a term, or just a release, or relaxation, whatever sex means to you. But as women, I feel like we always think about, let me please this man. You know, if I can do this, maybe he'll, whatever it is. It's always centered around men, in movies, in sitcoms, in books.
Yeah.
Everything is, it's never centered around
Did you just
the
point to an MLK book?
I did, because MLK was, you know about his life.
Yes.
If you know about MLK, you know he was all about.
what we're talking about today.
With Coretta.
You gonna do that today?
When Coretta comes to
MLK, you gonna
FBI.
just slide MLK in here on this shit right here? This shit right
But
here?
you know what?
When we talk about voting rights, let's bring him in. But we will not bring MLK in right now. I refuse.
Well, you know, he was, I mean, we all know that he was a serial cheater, and I'm sure he was all about
Yes.
pleasuring the woman.
Not on
That's
his
all.
day.
Okay.
But it's not a bad thing. I mean, that's real life.
Not when your wife wasn't down with it.
I mean, when he said get to the mountaintop, that's
You know what? It would have been. I would enjoy it if he were able to speak about it.
And if he was
You know
able to
what I'm
bring you
saying?
to the
Because
mountaintop.
if he was able to, because
Could you imagine him preaching in your ear? Remember the game we played last time?
I damn
would
sure
you?
would have fucked MLK.
I would.
I would have gave him the best head ever. Like, oh my god. Oh my god, I would suck your dick across the bridge. Like, walk across the upper bridge.
I have a dream.
Yes.
Let me help you put you to sleep so you can
No
dream even more.
disrespect. Like, no disrespect, but I really
Did
would
he get
have.
Coretta to the mountaintop?
But you know,
And I'ma respect Coretta
he
too, 'cause
chose
I-
not to So there's some FBI documents when they were following him that they won't be released until 2027. Yeah. So the FBI was following MLK, and in 2027,
just pay attention.
2027, all those findings will be released, but it wasn't held by the FBI. It was held by like a mediation company, somebody that they had hired to help them go through this, and they didn't want to put any shame on his children
and to sully his legacy.
Yeah, they didn't want any shame on his family. They wanted, to preserve that. But in 2027, and I think I think they wanted a lot of motherfuckers to die.
It's
you know what
I
mean? I feel like they wanted a lot of people to be dead already before they put
so
this
the impact of it won't be as great.
What they found, because they were tapping his phones, they were following
his car,
him,
everything,
his cars,
hotel
everything.
rooms.
They were filming him. They knew everything that he did,
and that's why this government is filthy. So I'm all about politics, but at the same time you recognize that we are dealing with forces that were created purposely to hold people down and to promote others.
And that's why you need pleasure, because pleasure sustains you
it's
through.
The pleasure principle.
You say too much that we gotta pay.
Shit, I forgot. I work for a radio station, bitch. I be thinking about that. I'll come at the end of a song. I'm like, yeah. Okay, but you're right. I'm sorry. What's her name? Patrice?
Russian.
Patrice Russian? Bitch, you want that money,
or was that Janet? I don't know who. Pleasure Principle?
Janet.
That was Janet
Jackson.
Oh, she needed that money.
Yeah.
Okay. She in Europe, so she don't care.
Yeah.
She's not here. She's in London. Janet lives in London, so she don't care.
So let me ask you this. Are you an active voter? Are you a political person at all? Civically engaged?
Yes.
So what makes you a voter?
What makes me a voter? I don't know. I've never been asked that question. I think for me, as a woman, it's like a way to protect my rights as best as I know possible. I'm civically engaged around like reproductive justice. That is my niche. And so I think that's what makes me a voter, is like what is going to protect my rights as a woman.
Now let me ask you this. When did you first start masturbating?
When I first started, woo!
This is going to be the fast question round.
Oh my God.
Because you're a sex therapist. Clearly,
I grew up in a very
it was in your head for a long time.
I mean, like, I've been masturbating for so long, I don't even remember. A lot of that was probably, like, trauma-based. Like, I have unpacked this with my
So you was molested?
Yes, I was molested.
I think everybody was molested.
We shouldn't normalize that. I don't want to normalize that.
Well, but most people were.
Most
especially
women,
in our demographic,
were molested in some form.
Black women,
whether it was attempted molestation, whether it happened, whether it was a long duration, whether it was just one time.
Do you have any stats about black women in molestation?
I don't know them off the top of my head, but I know that we are like higher than our white counterparts.
We're not protected.
And
we're not protected. And that's with our own family.
Yeah.
So, and most molestation comes from
within your family, and like you were saying earlier, within friends. People that you know.
People who have access to you.
It's not going to be
but like studies have shown like kids who know like the proper names of their body parts are less likely to be molested because they are more likely to tell when they have
hallelujah thank you Jesus.
That is why it is important vagina and penis.
Damn, I should have worn my shirt because I love a vagina. I should go change my shirt. I meant to put my vagina shirt on.
Look, tell your kids name their body parts.
I wear
if you
a shirt.
Remember nothing
my shirt
else
says vagina. I want to normalize saying body parts. Like, if vagina is like your elbow.
Yeah.
Elbow, vagina.
So, like,
penis,
I used to play this game when I was teaching Call It What It Is. So, like, I would have the kids.
Who'd you play this game with?
When I was teaching.
Okay.
And, like, a few lovers, too. No.
Tell us more. I'm about
to tell. No, it was Call It Like It Is. So I would say, what do you call your leg? Like, give me all the nicknames for your leg. Give me all the nicknames for your elbow. give me all the nicknames for a penis or vagina. So why is it that we have all of these nicknames for a penis and a vagina, but we don't have one for an elbow or for a leg or for any other part? Because it's
I call
a body
mine an
part.
ashy patch.
You call yours an ashy
But you have a lot of nicknames for a lot of things. You have a lot of nicknames for a lot of things.
Ash girl.
Yes. Because I love how you say good one when you have... But I think that's great, right? To just have your little in-group, like with, you and Dylan got your own little slang. And I think that's good.
Yeah.
But I think that it's a value. And with my kids, again, I scar everyone's children that's in the vicinity of me. I ask all teenage girls and boys about their love life. Like, what do you have going on? Have you kissed? Or like, what's going on right now? And not in an invasive way. I just really want to know. So I can just try to impart any information I may have on you, so that you could go out in the world and be equipped with actual information versus some fugazi shit you get from the homie from 9th grade, just like you, or 10th grade, because they don't know about.
I'm gonna start using that in my sex therapy. Like, do you?
No, that's this.
That's
just the tip.
This is penetration,
and that's pre-ejaculation.
And the crazy part for me was growing up, because I talk like that since I was little, like penetration. I use all these terms. I've always been a reader. So it would be weird for me in sex ed or different classes because I would use technical terms and other kids my age don't use terms. Like, I've been using penetration since I was fucking like 10 or 12. So I think that there's so much value in, like what you're saying, in giving our kids the language. And even as adults, to have the proper language for anything that we're doing, because it kind of is empowering at the same time, and it creates clarity.
Yeah. I can't tell you how many adults that I work with that don't call a penis or a penis.
Tell us about some of your
my clients. No,
you can't get specific. No, you can't tell us about clients. But tell me, what on an average do clients come to see you for? Like, why do I need to come see you? Why would I look you up?
Because I'm fucking dope.
Melanin Sex Therapy, Dallas, Texas.
Because I'm fucking dope, first of all.
So tell us about it. Like,
fully facts.
For real. Like, so somebody watching us right now, right? Could be a lady in her 50s, married, not sexually happy. Yeah. But so what does the average person come to you for?
Average person comes to me for erectile dysfunction, painful sex, like mismatched sex desires. So like I may have a higher sex drive than my partner does. How do we do that? How do we start to incorporate intimacy back into our relationship? Because we've been married for like 50 fucking years, or we're just newlyweds and we've never had that conversation about sex. So I don't know what you like sexually. You don't know what I like sexually. I don't know how to talk to you about sex. We can talk about everything else in the world, but like sex is like this
taboo.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's deep to me, to be with someone and not talk about sex. It's, for me, that's like one of the first 5 things I want to talk about.
Yeah.
But first, what does your voter registration card say?
Exactly.
That's not what it says. Do you just fucking have one?
I know. First, let's start there.
We can't just,
Let's start there.
Well, if you're dealing with me, you automatically have to have one.
Having one. Yeah.
I've dated someone that was like, I don't vote, and I'm like, why the fuck not? Because
that's a turn off.
It is.
Back to the sex.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Can politics have a moment?
No.
Politics needs a moment.
Martin Luther King already.
Yeah, but for like
that was for politics.
Stop voter suppression.
I want to know who's coming in
John Lewis.
What do they say?
Literally coming in office.
Who's coming in there?
Who's coming in?
I can't stand Vita right now.
No one has ever came in my office. They better not. Hell the fuck no.
Pulls their penis out. But
I am a trained body worker.
So do you do couples therapy?
I do couples. I do thruples. I do individuals.
More than two.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do just anyone who.
Oh, we stopped recording?
The video, yeah. The audio, I'll just let y'all keep going.
What happened?
What happened? Your phone.
My camera?
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah. Your camera's full.
Okay.
Well, just use mine.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Okay, does she need to unlock it?
Yeah.
All this will be edited out.
Edit this.
Yes, please. Damn it, man.
So
we just keep having technical issues.
We got a good portion of, so.
This is a good conversation. Well, I feel like there needs to be part 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6.
Yeah,
because I feel like we literally just scratched the surface.
With sex, there always is like a part 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Yes. I want to talk about triads. I want to talk about polyamory.
No, because you don't know how to act.
Y'all making full on eye contact. Her and Zeus. Look how y'all look.
You're like an ASPCA commercial. Like donate $5 to help a dog out.
He looking at her like, bitch, let me in.
You don't know how to act. You open doors. No.
Be like, what the fuck you mean? You won't let me in?
You open doors.
You won't let me in?
You let me open doors in this motherfucker. What you mean?
I know.
Yeah.
You want to start again?
We going. We're good. You just edit out everything before. Okay. So you would ask her a question about.
You ready? So I want to know what type of couples, what type of people come to Melanin Sex Therapy, like, and how do they find you? Like, so what is what is going through my mind that makes me say, I need a sex therapist?
Because I know.
You need a sex therapist? No.
I didn't know I needed one until I talked to her, not to cut you off. When I had a conversation with her, I was like, shit.
Maybe I need
And
to
she
go
told
see.
me, stop chasing the pleasure. I was like, I need to make an appointment. Seriously, because a lot of us chase orgasms because I'm an orgasm chaser. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So why do people come see you?
I think that there's the reason that they tell me that like their sex life is just not right, and that they are able to talk to their partner about everything but sex. And so people find me like mostly through my Instagram. They Google me, and like most of those Google searches are like sex therapist near me or Black sex therapist. I think the documentary on Netflix, Sex, Love, and Goop.
I didn't see that.
I didn't see that either.
What is Goop?
It's the
like
white lady. It's Gwyneth Paltrow's line.
Oh, Gwyneth Paltrow is a beast when it comes to
she is
sex shit.
I haven't seen the documentary either, but like apparently there was like a section of sex therapy.
She's got a candle that says, "This smells like my vagina."
But so does Erica Badu, right? And her shit's sold out in 24 hours.
Erica has incense called Badu Pussy.
Okay, yeah.
But Gwyneth says, "This candle smells like my vagina." Do you know how bad I wanted that candle?
And you couldn't even find one, could you?
No, it was
sold out. Yeah.
So I'm gonna make a candle.
I think you should. That it smells like your vagina.
This candle smells like my friend's vagina.
Who is your friend?
My friend's cousin's
my friend that
auntie.
got that panty cake.
Oh yes, panty cake.
Yeah,
I actually started using that and rubbing it all over myself.
Yeah, I think that you should.
Yeah, this candle smells like my mom's vagina.
Because there's some people that are into that.
That would be great, wouldn't it?
Right, Mom?
This candle, my mom would kill me, but I'll do it. This candle smells like, because my mom's pure. Like, my mom's an angel. I think she's still a virgin.
Really?
I really think my mom's still a virgin.
Immaculate conception.
Yes.
My mom found the Lord
like
Jesus Christ, but like before the age of 16, 17. I grew up in a very sex positive household.
That's awesome.
I remember when I was 15, 16, my best friend asked my mom how to give a blowjob, and my mom told her how to give a blowjob. And
how did your best friend feel comfortable enough around your mom to ask her that?
So my best friend and I have known each other since I was like 4 or 5 years old. So
that's like your sister.
Known each other for a long ass time. And so yeah, she just asked.
Who is your mom for her to feel comfortable? Like
April Jones. Shout out
your
April.
Mom.
Shout out Mom Dukes.
No, literally, because my son's friends, they tell me everything. Mm-hmm. And I know so much about their lives.
Yes.
Because they're very comfortable
yeah.
around me.
Yeah.
So, was that your mom? Your mom
That was my mom and my dad. Yeah.
Because let me tell you something. When the pandemic hit, so I told my son that I used to eat pussy. when I didn't say it just like that, but I was.
How'd you say it specifically?
I said
You did cunnilingus.
no, didn't say that. They would have been like, "Oh, what? You eat pasta?" It was COVID. They were talking about. Okay, here's how it started.
Okay.
During the first pandemic, when everything was shut down, we did a lot of talking. Kind of wanted to untalk, but it happened. So they were telling me, you know, I was like, so when's the first time all y'all had sex already? Yeah, nah. I said, so when's the first time y'all get your dick sucked? And that's how I worded it. When'd you get your dick sucked? So everybody started, well, mine was here and mine was here and mine was here, right? So I asked my son when
I had pearls, I'd be clutching them.
Yeah. So when my son told me he got his dick sucked, I said, well, did you eat her pussy? And he's like, everybody's like, no! No! Everybody in the room was like, me, it was my son, my bonus son, and another little boy. And they was like, no.
Fix that.
And so I automatically went to defense mode, like, oh, you can't be out here getting your penis sucked and don't think that you're not supposed to pleasure another woman.
Exactly.
But then I stopped and I was like, I don't want my son eating pussy right now. So I was like,
Is there an age limit?
I don't know.
How do you feel? Is there?
I feel like if my son start eating pussy right now, he gonna lose his motherfucking mind type
Let
shit.
him lose his mind.
No, not at 16. No. Let that bitch lose her mind.
Why should
I'm protecting my son.
Who are you calling a bitch?
Whoever sucked his dick.
Oh no.
Okay. What do you want me to call her? That nice young lady?
Yes.
Nice young lady, and I suck a whole Oh my God. Is your son the nice young man that
already. That nice young lady.
You cannot demonize women first.
You're absolutely right. I didn't mean to do that.
I
didn't mean to do that.
And shame on that nice young lady for not demanding that your son eat your pussy. Girls today, teenage girls, make them eat your pussy. Don't suck their dick for free.
But you know what? I never wanted my pussy ate.
It's okay.
I did not want my
just
pussy
at
ate.
least let him put his face down there and like do the alphabet.
Try.
Exactly.
Look, I did not want my son eating pussy after I thought about it. And I was like, I thought about it. I came to him as the woman. And
you said,
it's not advocating for women. Like it's not teenagers right now, right? Like it's a grown man and a grown woman in the room, and and I sucked his dick, and then I'm like, you gotta eat my pussy.
You're like, you know what?
That's what we gotta do. So that's how I came to Dylan at
initially
first.
started advocating for women, then you thought,
then I shut it down. I said, Then I said, nope. Don't eat no pussy right now because I know you niggas, and I don't need you there. I don't need you
because they're already on 10.
I don't need you I don't need you.
Well, how are they supposed to learn when they're like 35?
I mean,
what?
22, baby.
No, hell no.
Oh
my God.
Okay,
I don't want my son.
We as women are expected to be like headmasters by the time we're like 15, 16,
no, we're
17.
Not. What the hell?
Nowadays, in today's world where you have social media and
16.
Pornhub, like I didn't even start giving. I literally didn't start.
You are not
honest to God, what world did y'all live in?
I dated older guys.
Oh my God, I feel so virgin.
I really don't think that. I really think that at teenage, is that really what boys are looking for to get their dick?
I think nowadays probably, but I don't know what teenage boys are looking for.
I think I think because of like porn and because people aren't talking about porn, like the expectations, and I see that with adults. Like even adults have realistic expectations of like what their
unrealistic or realistic?
Unrealistic expectations of what their partners are supposed to be.
Say that again for the people in the back.
Unrealistic expectations of what their partners are supposed to be because they've watched a lot of porn, because they don't talk to their partners about what they are expecting from them sexually and like what their partners are willing to do for them sexually. So yeah, I do feel like that's the expectation. I was teaching a class when I was teaching sex ed, and I show like a model of what
grade were you teaching sex ed?
15, 16, so like 8th, 9th, 10th. And,
high school.
High school. And in the model, the model had hair on their vulva, and a student looked at me and he was like, "Miss, what's that?" And I was like, "What? The clit, the pubic bone?" He was like, "No, that fuzzy stuff." I was like, "Hair?" He was like, "Miss, women don't have hair down there." And that's the expectation, because he had been watching porn and all he had ever seen was a bare vulva. And he didn't know any better.
Saw his mama's... Okay, so...
First of all, why was he looking?
Wait a minute. Okay, I'll tell you why I said that. So, being a single mom... Hold on.
All right,
okay, wait a minute. Being a single mom, right? I used to take showers when Dylan was a baby, with Dylan.
That's a baby. Okay? He doesn't remember mom had a bush.
Wait. But the showers went to like toddler. You know what I'm saying? Like
So does he still remember now that you had a bush?
I don't think so.
Okay,
but this is when I stopped. The last time we ever took a shower together was when we was in the shower and he pointed at my vagina and he was like, "Why I don't have no hair right here?" Like you
gonna have to get out of here.
I was like, "Oh shit!"
You asking questions?
Okay, this is done.
Shame
because I was taking showers with him since he was like in a seat.
Oh, baby,
you know what I'm saying? Because I had to maneuver.
Yeah,
and
you had to do stuff.
So he was always in the bathroom with me. Always.
That's normal. I think that's normal.
But when he noticed my vagina hair, that's the last time. Shut up!
I ain't shaved yet. No. I think that would have been a perfect time to experience
it. Well, it wasn't for me.
In the shower.
I didn't do it. He pointed at my vagina hair. I said, "Get out!
No.
Get out! Get out now!"
So
He's like, "What did I do? What did I do?"
You know what you did.
You know what you did. You pointed at your mom's wolf monkey. He's like,
and we are shamed enough for that.
Yeah, all of a sudden he was just like, "What is that?"
Did you have flashbacks?
Yeah. Like, it's like, that's when I have 70s vagina, okay? That shit was like,
Black power.
My vagina hair be like,
You know what? It'd be like that sometimes. Mine's in Bantu dots right now.
So there you go. She branded shit, huh?
I mean, I do mine protective style.
Do you still have your vagina edges?
I think I do. Okay. Like mine is in like protective style right now.
Because it's winter, right? I mean, like, I gotta stay warm.
Yeah, I have more hair on my vagina than my head.
I mean, like,
I'm so done.
What are we shaving for? I mean, it's okay if like you as a woman want to be shaved and want to be bare and you do your vagina hair however you want to do it, but like if it's not how you want to do it, like what are we shaving for?
Yeah, I don't shave.
So many questions.
I get ingrown hairs and I don't like it, and waxing costs a lot of money.
It do.
And my dude don't like fucking a 13-year-old.
I mean, yeah, there's that too.
You know what I'm saying? There's like a bald pussy is kind of like,
yeah,
like that's a
lot of people feel that way too. They feel like I want a woman.
Yeah.
And that's a part of growing up into womanhood, right? Is a big old bush. What's the biggest bush you could grow up?
I don't like men who shave their pubic hair. You like a man with a bald area? That is so gay to me, and nothing wrong with being gay. But
I guess I'm a gay man in another lifetime.
I'm a gay man too, but
I don't like.
I love the hair down there.
I like to.
But you don't mind.
You choke on it sometimes too.
I spread them lips apart and like lick right there and like yeah.
Do you say that? Do you say
hair? Omit the hair. Like don't fuck the hair. Just go down.
Yes.
And
why not?
Really?
They do.
So you could have hair and he can't? That's a weird thing.
Well, no, but
you know,
and I don't care.
Everyone's into different things. So she likes hairless men, and they like bushes.
I don't like hairless men or cats.
No.
And I'm not talking about our vagina. I'm talking about real life cats that don't have hair.
Those are weird.
That is very weird. It's just very needy.
That's ew. But hey, love yours.
Exactly.
Because they need love.
Exactly.
But a man with no hair down there would freak me
I like hair up top, but like no hair on like the balls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, she's a sex therapist.
That's a double standard,
Melanin
and that's
Sex
probably
Therapy.
too much that people need to know about me.
Well, no, I just think that it's important that people have this context because people like
it's okay
different
to like
things.
What you like.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
it's okay to
everyone
like what you
has
like.
their fetishes because in the future, what I want to talk about is like porn addiction. I mean, I really would like to get
That's
a little bit deeper.
complicated subject.
I would
right
like
there.
to get into molestation just a little bit deeper to kind of unpack that because
Do you
of
want
our
to get into
demographic.
that now?
Do we really want to?
I don't want to do it now because we've talked about so much, and I feel like I don't want to overload people, right? Because we've exploded their heads already.
Fun sex.
Okay, let's talk about sex.
Okay, before we go, because I know we had to. Okay, well, first of all, will you agree to come at least once a month with
I
us?
will.
I would love that.
Yeah,
Yes.
our resident sex expert, Melanin Sex Therapy. What she was gonna say, Dana?
I want that blowjob therapist, sex
Oh,
specialist.
we'll talk about that later. She has a friend that gives classes on blowjobs, so I really think I could out-teach her.
I believe you too, but I want y'all to.
If I could make money teaching women how to suck dick, sign me up.
I want y'all to go head up. Head up.
Pun intended.
I'm gonna give you her number. Her name is Goody Howard.
Will she teach me how to make money out teaching women how to suck dick?
I don't know if she can teach you how to make money, but like she does. Goody Howard. She is a sex educator here in Dallas. And yeah,
she's a sex educator. Do you need a license for
You
that?
don't need a license for that. That is
And
different
then
from
where
therapy.
do you teach? How do
I
you
don't teach anymore.
How do you teach?
I do therapy. So when
No,
people,
her.
How does she teach? She does classes on giving head. She does classes on eating pussy.
Do they
she
be
does a
full?
run- Yeah, they do. They
I
do.
said we crashed one of those
my
parties.
God, we
I mean,
should
not a
crash a
party.
party.
Like,
Not a party. It's
Well, we're
actual
gonna get. First
function.
of all, we're gonna get her on the show, and we're gonna have a dick eating competition.
A dick eating competition.
Yeah, we'll have.
I love the way you worded that.
Oh, I'm down.
I'm gonna
I
be
just
here for
felt
that.
like Gabrielle Union and Bring It On. I was like, I'm a Clover girl. Bring it on. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win. I suck the best. Just bring it on.
She gives the best fellatio in Dallas.
Well, we're gonna host that contest.
We're gonna
I
get
will
her.
not be a judge.
She's coming.
I will not either.
But we're gonna have some
But I
men
would like to
lined
be
up.
here. I mean-
we're gonna have some men lined up.
I mean,
no.
I mean,
I'm
not
a
for you,
judge.
no, to be a judge, not for you actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like,
No.
But like every
Don't do me like
man,
that.
every man is different on how they like their
Their
head.
dick suck, right?
Yeah, so
exactly. You have to really.
It's not a
you
one
have
size
to-
fits
You know
all.
where I learned how to suck dick? Watching gay porn.
I did too. I did too.
Oh my God, I've never watched gay
men
porn.
know where to go on
They
a dick
do.
because
I feel
they know
so-
where to go on the balls.
They do.
I feel
They know
so
how-
vanilla
I
sitting
bet
next
you
to the
didn't
two of
even
you.
know that you can grab balls and,
Yeah.
and hold them like this. Because normally if you a man's balls,
No, you gotta
but
cup
you
them
have there's
just
something
right.
a way that you can grab a man's balls and grab them and hold them tight while you sucking his dick, and he will lose his fucking brain cells.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna
Women
bring your
forget
friend
about
on.
the balls. Like they forget
Yeah,
about the balls, but like
yeah, it's a
those are
whole thing.
important too.
The
You get
buttholes in
pleasure.
there.
Yeah, the butthole.
The butthole.
Oh my God, we're gonna talk
involved.
about that. We're gonna talk about anal penetration and massaging.
Good
So I
prostate.
can, so like there,
I was
I can
gonna
give
say
like anal massages because I do body work. So I'm a trained body work as well as like a
Somatic.
sex work. So
Wait a
yeah,
minute, what is that?
so a body worker is just we
my
call it
body.
like somatic sex coaching. So
Work
like
my
getting
body.
in touch, in touch
No,
with the
you
body.
touching people during your body coaching.
How deeply do you
Is
touch them?
there a table or a bed?
There
or
is a
what that?
table.
A massage table.
There's a massage
Is this
table.
during one of your sex therapy sessions?
No, so coaching and sex therapy are different things. So when people reach out to me for coaching, like they've usually done all the work of therapy and they're
Okay.
just wanting something to like enhance like their sex life
Okay.
and like they're not trying to like unpack any issues of why they can't
They ain't
do
unpacking issues, but I'm
a certain. So like that doesn't usually happen like the first time people come and see me. Like I usually like do like some embodiment exercises.
What
so
is
like
an embodiment exercise?
how in tune and like how in your body are you? So like when I do that, like what does that feel like for you? What do you notice in your body right now? Like as I'm touching you like that. So
Keep
and then
going. Some more.
do it again.
Okay. No, seriously, do it again.
No, you do it back. How about that? You do it back right now. Hurry up.
Oh, so you want to pay for this?
You know, we're gonna have a subscription. I can see it coming.
And so, like, that just starts, like, how, like, what does it feel like? What do you notice in your body? What are you noticing in your body as, like, I'm doing that right now?
What is happening here? I think I need to bring it back to
do you do that to men and women, or just women, or just men?
Men.
Okay,
women.
Do you deal with transgender people?
What else do you do?
I do.
How else? What else do you touch? When
So after that, we would work our way up to, like, genital mapping. So, like, say,
will you touch a man's penis?
Mm-hmm. I will touch a woman's vulva, vagina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you make them come into
That
focus?
is
Spit on your hand first.
No, it's just, not like
it's work.
Sanitary.
In the nature of business, that's insane. Now, what she does in her personal life is different.
That's not sanitary. No.
It's COVID.
Okay. We in the middle of a pandemic.
Okay, so
get it together.
So you help them explore their bodies.
Yeah, so, like, I do
And they pay you for this.
I do masturbation coaching. I do orgasm coaching. I do anal mapping.
Coaching.
So just exploring, like, what your relationship is to masturbation. I find that a lot of my clients have started masturbation out of trauma, or, like, they learn to masturbate like, really quickly and in secrecy. So that impacts,
like, shameful.
Yeah. So, like, getting them out of that space of shame and, like, having, like, the full on experience of exploring their bodies and taking their masturbation to the next level.
What's the next level?
Whatever they want it to be. So it's not like this quick, dirty, shameful thing, but, like, it's a ritual attached to it. It's like more than, like, 2 minutes of, like, rubbing one out in the corner in the shameful place.
Jesus.
So whatever they want it to be, whatever.
I feel like I just want to touch my vagina right now.
So after I leave, we do that.
It's yours. You do what you want with it.
I won't, but I'm
Just not in front of people, not in front of guests.
Unless they ask for that.
Yeah.
No, you do this all in a closed area, and they.
No, she does it out on Harry Hines.
Out on the freeway.
Just, hey, y'all, who needs genital mapping, anal mapping?
How long have you been in this profession?
I've been a sex therapist for, like, 5 years, and I have been, like, a sex coach for, like, a year and a half.
I feel like this is something I want to do.
I can see you doing it too, because you're so. Because I feel like to do this, you have to be really open.
Because you're saving the world, right?
I am. I think I am. I like to think that I am.
You are saving the world. You're saving a marriage, or saving a person.
Yeah.
Saving their sanity
and removing shame, removing guilt.
That's the biggest thing.
And I when I read that on your website, I was like, God, I think a lot of people struggle with shame when it comes to sexuality. And I think within our relationships, even our friendships, I don't even think that we discuss just on a friendship level shame enough. Like, what's going on with, like, in a deep way.
Yeah.
So I know that that's a heavy burden to carry when it comes to sexuality.
Yeah.
And I really want to unpack that even more so.
Yeah.
Wow. What's your website?
melaninsextherapy.com. So find me, and that's everywhere. So find me on Insta at Melanin Sex Therapy. That's the only social.
Okay, so we're gonna hold you to it. Will you come back once?
I will. This was fun. There was liquor.
A lot of people need to learn from what you have to offer
and have these conversations.
Customers.
That's what I'm
Hello, melaninsextherapy.com.
It's a little bit of like a FUBU.
The next time when we get together again, I know we have other topics that you want to discuss too. Like,
I don't want to discuss politics.
I want to talk about the shame of sexual shame. And I think why can't you be 50
that's a whole
and still
episode.
Be sexual?
Why can't you be 80?
80? Why can't you be however old you are and still be sexual and still, like, want to talk about, I want to pleasure my vagina. I want you to go downtown. But that's
societal, and I know that we're going to go back down this rabbit hole. I want you to shout out where they can find you one more time as we move into getting out of here.
Yes, so I am at melaninsextherapy.com. I'm going to leave the 3 W's out.
I appreciate that. It's irritating.
I love it, though. And I am...
WW.
/.
Don't do that.
I I love this sex episode. This is good. The sex episode.
And then I'm on Instagram at Melanin Sex Therapy. And then if you are one of like the 12 people that are still on Facebook, my page is Melanin Sex Therapy. And then later this year, hopefully, I will be getting my TikTok.
Yay!
The time and the space and the energy to do it.
Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah, and I want to come back and talk like politics and the politics
Absolutely.
of sex. And
because that's really important.
That's this
with SBA,
politics is sexual.
With just the policing of our bodies, all those things I really want to dig deep into.
Yeah, and there's a law in the books here in Texas that it is illegal to own more than 2 dildos.
You're lying to me.
I looked it up.
Ted Cruz for that, not me.
I looked it up.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
I'm serious. Dead
There's
ass.
a law that says you can't own more than 2
dildos in Texas.
Are you
yes.
fucking serious?
Absolutely.
Yell at Ted Cruz for that because he sponsored that bill. He wrote that bill. Yell at Ted
And that's
Cruz.
because he probably has 27.
Yeah.
Because who has the time, the space, or any to think about that? Because what I looked up, and I encourage all of you to look up weird sex laws in your state.
Yes.
Because sodomy is still illegal in 27 states.
It is.
And sodomy is just something in your butt, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you know that
What if you
like
like
Lauren
something in your butt?
the rule?
Well, you're gonna go to jail if your neighbors catch you. All the
Federally, because like the rule that went to the Supreme Court, like what got sodomy laws outlawed federally was here in Texas. Lawrence v. the state of Texas outlawed sodomy.
This is the worst.
I mean, there's so much like political stuff.
There is.
bet you're coming back for
Me
this.
too, and I want to
know
unpack
you're
that.
coming back
But this
for
is
this.
absolutely because you are thoroughly entertained, and not only that, mentally engaged. And there's a lot of good information here for you to take back, share with your friends, your family, and your children about what their sex life is like.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So definitely come back. Thank you all for watching. Again, I'm Dana J. That's
Vida Loca.
and this is
Aydrell Collins.
Melanin Sex Therapy.
Melanin Sex
Thank you guys. See you next time.
Therapy.